Uh, Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class of user interface design again. So, basically, we are discussing selecting the menu choices. So, basically, how exactly what are the options to select the menus? Maybe one is you can use the mouse pointer, you can use the keyboard, and there are many other ways we will be discussing. So yesterday or in the previous video we just saw how where exactly the initial cursor positioning should be. So if one option is continuously being used by the user, I mean if it is very popular choice, then always place the cursor at that option. And then choice selection pointers. Select the choice by directly pointing at it with a mechanical device such as a mouse or a trackball pointer or a light pen, or pointing with one's finger if it is a touchpad. Then visually indicate which options can be selected when the option is directly under the pointer and can be selected. Visually distinguish single and multiple choice menu alternatives. If pointing with a mechanical device is the selection method used, then the spectable target area should be at least twice the size of the active area of the pointing device or a displayed pointer. Sometimes, for example, you can see look at the size of the pointer as well, the size of this menu bar or menu option. We are discussing about that. Then adequate separation must be provided between the adjacent target areas. If finger pointing is a selection method used, the touch area must be minimum 20 to 30 millimeter square, because if you look at the point of our fingertip, so it is being adjusted according to the size of our fingertip. So that menu option should not be too small or it should not be too big. The minimum it should be 22. If it is big, that is fine, but it should not be very small. The touch area must encompass the entire caption plus one character around it. So if the user is using the keyboard to select the for the selection of menu items, then if moving the cursor to the menu choice, then up and down arrows keys should be provided to move the cursor up and down vertically. The left and right cursor key should be used to move the menu choices to the left or right. If keying a choice identifier value within an entry field, locate the entry field at the bottom of the last choice in the array of choices. Uppercase or lowercase or mixed case typed entries should all be acceptable. Then selection or execution. Provide the separate actions for selecting and executing many options. So there should be these are two different tasks. One is selecting and another one is executing. Selecting is different, then executing is different. So that should be they should be well separated. Indicate the selected choice through either highlighting it with a distinctive display technique or modifying the shape of the cursor. The moment so here it is, you can see it is getting highlighted. If you see the color, if you clearly observe, whenever I am taking my mouse over, you could see it is getting highlighted. Permit unselecting choice before the execution. So always give a user to unselect, so that suppose if he wants to select some other thing, then that should be provided. Then combining techniques. Permit alternative selection techniques to provide flexibility. So don't be too adamant on the users that you should not make it compulsory for the user only to use the mouse or the keyboard. So allow many things so that user can feel comfortable in using your product. So again, these are the same explanations, you can just go through them. Next one is defaults. Provide a default whenever possible. Display as a bold text. Defaults aid system learning and enhance efficiency. Provide as many as possible. Indicate a default by displaying it in a bold text. Then Unavailable choices should be dimmed or grayed out. For example, I have not copied anything, so all of them are dimmed, or what, or grayed out means you cannot select it. Even if I click on cut, copy, paste, now I cannot select it. The moment I select something, now you see they get highlighted. Okay, copy gets highlighted. Okay, so that is what is unavailable choices. Do not add or remove items from a menu unless the user takes explicit actions to add or remove them through the application. So next one is mark toggles or settings. So let us understand what is mark toggles. Let me show you what is this mark toggle. So these are the mark toggles. You could see this selection, bold and italic are selected, so you can see an this indicator here, so you will get some idea now. So what is the purpose? Used to designate that an item or a feature is active or inactive over a relatively long period of time. Used to provide a reminder that an item or feature is active or inactive. So now this arrow, okay, this the right symbol, the correct symbol, it indicates that bold and italic are active and the other many options are not used in the recent time. Okay, then guidelines: position the indicator directly to the left of the option, so that is why this right symbols are positioned left of the option. For situations where several non-exclusive choices may be selected, consider including one alternative that deselects all the items and reverts the state to the normal condition. So okay, so what is the purpose? When it, okay, menu items that toggle between active and non-active. When it is active, an indicator is displayed adjacent to the item descriptions. Advantages: mark toggles provide a visual indication of the state of an item. Okay, if it is, there is this indicator, means it is an active item. If this indicator is not there, then it is a passive item. Passive in the sense it is not very active now. Okay, then toggled menu items. Purpose is used to designate two opposite commands that are accessed frequently. For example, on our TV remotes, you could have seen there is a back button. So we are frequently we switch within the same two channels. So okay, so if you press that back button, automatically it goes to the previous channel. So after 5 minutes, if you press the back button again, it goes to the same okay, older so that is what is toggled menu items, used to designate two opposite commands that are accessed frequently. Use when the menu item displayed will clearly indicate that the opposite condition currently exists. Guidelines: provide a meaningful, fully spelled out description of the action. Begin with a verb that unambiguously represents the outcome of the command. Used mixed case letters with the first letter of each word capitalized. So these are the guidelines how to use these toggled menu items. The purpose is, a toggled menu item is one menu item command that toggles back and forth between the current state and its alternative state. Then what are the advantages? Toggled menu items shorten menus. Okay, for just try to imagine again and again you have to press the channel numbers, okay, to go back to the previous channel you have seen. So that instead of that, you just press one button, it goes back to the previous channel. Toggled menu items shorten menus, decrease visual clutter, provide quicker access and foster faster comprehension of the command action. So guidelines: use toggled menu items to designate two opposite commands that are accessed frequently. So in the next class or in the next video, we will be starting with navigating menus. So thank you very much for watching.